Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Let me get stuff going here. I apologize. I had to be late. We're having real issues with mom this week. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to keep her home, but every day we can is probably a good thing. So if I have to dodge out fairly quickly, that's the reason why. Because she might have another episode at any moment. You never know. All right, so me get let me get the link here copied and sent over. Pin message, okay. I don't know, Jeff. I just kind of want you guys to be aware, and if all of a sudden the stream just ends, then that's what happens. That she's had another freak out. So hopefully that won't. We gave her they changed her meds up, so hopefully that will at least calm things down for a while. Let me get this going here. All right, there we go. I got that started. Lieutenant Dane, how are you doing tonight?
Howdy. How you doing?
Okay. Okay, we got 12 watching. That's pretty good. Um, in case,
Yeah, you had a bunch of likes before you even started.
um, let's see here. Let me grab this. Where's that silly thing at? There it is. Try to clean up here a little bit. Things are kind of a mess around here. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Looks about right. I may have to adjust the camera out a little bit. Yeah, let's smooth this. And go there. So we finished the Malibu the other day. This is the 66 one from Revell. I threw the box away to show you the box top. It's the latest version. It has the white one on the front and the black one on the side of the box. It turned out pretty well. We used some of Matthew's drag wheels on there. Other than that, and added a wired the uh, wired the engine. Other than that, it's pretty much stock. There's a few little bibs and bobs floating around in there, but it works out pretty well. It fits. The hood fits. I know some people had trouble with that. I did have to lengthen the hole for the hinge so that it could slide further forward to fit. But other than that, it turned out pretty good. I'm real happy with that. The striping on the top came from my 64 and a half, the 1/16 scale Mustang that I did for Acme last year. I had those decals left over, and I thought they'd look kind of cool on there. So we ran them over the hood and roof and out the back, and then we did it's a Tamiya silver leaf is the color, and then I used the Duplicolor metal cast clear purple to do the sides. And I wasn't going to put any contingency stickers on there, but there's a couple of spots of the purple that wasn't smooth, so I put decals on it to hide it. That's that one. The video for that one went live yesterday, so if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. And other than that, I'm probably going to work on some of the lighting for the Romulan Star Trek Romulan ship I'm working on. Because I'm waiting for. I got my engine for the 66 GTO came in, but it was missing parts, so I'm waiting for the missing parts to arrive. They're supposed to be here on Thursday, I believe it is. Hey, Leon, your shop card did go in the mail today. So you should get it, well, with our post office sometime between Friday and 10 years from now. But
Ain't that the truth?
yeah, because we I have my new shop cards because the old ones run out. So every time I get new ones printed, I change it. So we've got the Firebird on the cover of this one. Hey Gary, how you doing tonight? Kevin, Fafa's in there. I don't know any, but see if I missed anybody else. GB's in the house. I think I saw Tinman. Yeah, there's Tinman there.
Ooh, that looks nice. Gary, I didn't see your post because I have my Facebook notifications turned off on some of my computers because the other group was 24 hours a day.
Hey GB, how you doing?
Wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah, Leon. Surprisingly enough, like packages I get from California usually come pretty quick. And then the ones that come from just 100 miles away take for 5 days. And as if it gets lost in the Kansas City, Kansas distribution center, that's where the trouble is. If it goes anywhere else, it's fine. But when it goes through there, that's like a black hole. Okay. Go ahead and glue this up. Hey,
What's
Ted, how
up?
you doing?
The other Gary from Australia. How you doing?
Yeah, everybody's always welcome. Anybody wants to pop in, working microphone or indoor camera.
Yeah, he just showed me a build he finished. It looks pretty awesome. He's too scared to come in here and show it.
Oh, come on, Gary. You're always welcome. We won't pick on you too much.
I'm starting to think the government's looking for him.
Well, isn't he in Queensland? So there's plenty of room to hide.
Oh no, that's GB models. I'm talking about Ride the Wind.
Oh, that one. Okay.
No, GB models will get on. The other one's chicken.
There we go.
That is GB.
Okay, let me see. I have to probably tape that because it's too squirrely shaped to clamp.
Oh, and he's gone.
And he's back. Nope, it's not going to work. Yeah, we're seeing that you're there, Gary, but we have no sound and no picture. That's GB, Jimmy, from Australia.
Yeah, don't get too excited yet.
Oh, I'm going to have to see if I can track down some more wire. I don't think I have enough. And there's Donnie. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. How are you, Bob and Lieutenant Dan?
We're here.
Good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
We're on the right side of the dirt, which is always a good thing.
Yep. Plus, I got some grass cut today. Tracked down some wire. I think I forgot. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to go shut my YouTube off.
Okay. Let's see. Try going into the settings. Otherwise, you might have to clear your cookies and then restart.
All right. Now we shouldn't get a feedback.
Okay, that will work for that. I'm almost out of super glue too. I'm gonna have to make a supply run this week.
What the were you working on, Bob?
I'm working on the Star Trek ship.
Oh, you still working on it?
Yeah.
How's your mom doing?
Well, sometimes they're good and sometimes not so good. That's so if I have to bail out real quick, that's where I went.
Yeah.
We had this weekend was not good, but then yesterday she was fine, and then most of it today she was fine. But then she has these panic attacks and things because she can't remember where things and there's almost no consoling her when those happen until you get her to fall asleep or something, and it's a reboot on her brain because it's just a matter of time. But we want to keep her home as long as we can because going into the home will not be pleasant. So
Yeah, my mom she went in nursing home at 61, and that's where she died at 86. Every time I'd go home to North Carolina, I always spent a lot of time up there. I knew it was a good day when I'd go in and she'd say, "How you doing, Donnie?" But when I went in and she said, "What in the world you doing here, Henry?" That would be my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I had to get out of there or it'd be a fuss and a fighting. Because that's all they did when we grew up. I look a lot like my dad, so she couldn't distinguish between me and him sometimes.
Yeah, most days she knows my name, but she doesn't know who I am.
Yeah. I understand what you're going through, bud.
And her mom was the same way. But we're
Well,
trying to keep her happy and satisfied as long as we can.
besides getting my grass cut today, I finally shot my first 2K clear through the airbrush today on that Corvette. It turned out pretty good. I think it turned out pretty good. It ain't completely dry yet, so
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to 2K as soon as I can set my paint booth up permanently. Right now, when I need to paint, I have to like stick it out and let me blow you up. I have to stick it next to the door and run the hose outside, and that'll work for like enamels and lacquers. But when I get into 2K, that's not gonna cut it.
yeah, I tried to put bare metal foil around that trim there,
Mm-hmm.
but my stuff was too old and it won't work. And so I just went ahead and shot it with 2K clear, and I might use a marker to trim in
Yeah.
that.
Hey, Red, how you doing tonight?
And my record's still in the same shape it was the other night, sitting on the bench waiting for me to get back to it because that chrome, I put it in the LA Awesome.
Uh-huh.
It's stripped, but just because it's stripped, it don't look no better. That was some shoddy chrome work in that thing. You know how your frames are on the mirrors for the Peterbilts?
Uh-huh.
Right in between the top and the bottom, it had two big old globs of chrome just formed up in there. I'd cut all that out. I got them straightened out. But,
When they chrome them over that shitty molding,
yeah.
you just get flash, chrome, and all kinds of crap. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's like, why did they even bother?
I don't know. If I knew that record was like that, I wouldn't have bought it. But
Yeah, I'm fully expecting that when I open up this California hauler, but I don't know. I've seen some picture where the chrome looks okay, but if it looks that bad, I'm just going to strip it all down, clean it up, and chrome it. I don't know if you saw me open up that Mobius F250 the other day.
yeah.
Oh, the chrome is flawless on that thing. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I need to go ahead and mess around and order one from Hobby Link because I want that one too.
I think I'm gonna start building that next.
But I'm gonna finish up this Corvette. I got the chassis ready to go. I just need to put the wheels on it.
There it is.
And
Finally,
I
some
got
wired up.
the engine painted, but I ain't done none of the chrome work for the engine. It's all laying over there in high gloss black, waiting for me to chrome it. You about finished with that one, ain't it, Lieutenant Dan?
Yeah, I'm getting there. You know, I really haven't had much time to build except for when I'm on the live. So you guys are seeing the actual progress. Yeah, down to the final details.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I am right now. The live stream is about the only time I have any time to do anything.
Yeah, somebody asked me, like, you're still working on that? I'm like, the last time you saw me work on it was the last time I worked on it. Yeah, she's close. Not a whole lot left to do. Unfortunately, with these, when you get down to the end, the details are super, super tiny. It's all photo etch and real tiny stuff.
Yeah. I don't never mess with photo etch. I ain't figured that one out yet.
Yeah, I used to be scared of it too. After you do it a few times, it's not too bad. It'll try your patience, though.
I bet it will.
I find you just got to be kind of like bare metal foil. You kind of got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, there's that, and you learn to have a certain touch with your tweezers that you're not flinging stuff everywhere. That took a while to a gentle touch with the tweezers instead of a death grip on the parts goes a long ways.
Oh yeah, so they don't ping off into space. Yep.
Yep.
With my shaky hands, I'll probably have problems with that then.
They make these things called grease pencils.
Yeah.
They're like look like a pencil with white lead, but it's grease like a sticky.
Yeah, my
With
wife's
small parts, you can use that. Pick those up, the small parts, photo etch parts, and put them in place with those.
Yeah, my wife's got some. I go steal hers every now and then when I get to building engines, and she gave me some for Christmas this year, so I wouldn't steal hers. That's the good thing about her. She's got a craft shack that's I built for her that's 24 by 48, and it is full of craft stuff.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Norm. How you doing?
Hanging in there.
Let's see. We're up to almost 30 people now. Welcome to the party, everybody.
The fun project of building the windshield wipers tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, I know. You kind of like me. You sit at home all day and talk to your mom or once in a while.
Yep. Yep.
The rest of the day you're by yourself. So when you get a chance to get live,
I just talked to four walls.
Four walls.
Or my dog.
Yeah, I had to put mine down.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years ago when I put him down. It was a Labrador.
Yeah, I lost 3 a few years back. I have another one that was gifted to me for a Christmas present. So, but he's 8 going on 9 now.
Yeah, I had a black one and a golden one, and Sierra, she got so old, she went first. I had to put her down. And Silverado, he lasted another 2 or 3 years. That was one smart dog. I could take him out in the middle of this 2.5 acres and tell him to sit, and he'd sit there. I could go do anything I wanted to as long as I didn't hit the side of my hip. If I hit the side of my hip, he was coming towards me. Then we spent a lot of time out here playing ball. He got the older he got, the He'd always want to play, but he had bad hips. And I could tell when I needed to quit.
Somebody printing?
No, I'm not.
Uh,
What is that?
I spent the last 2-3 hours trying to freaking find out what color they painted the block on the Munster coach. Because the pictures just don't give you enough info on that area.
I could be wrong, but I was thinking it was gold.
Now I don't see. The hard part is after all the renditions of it, the things they changed. Because that's the other problem. I've got some pictures, some really old ones, and one of it shows it with the Cobra oval air breather in the middle of the carbs and stuff. And then I got another picture that shows it. It's just a fuel rail going through. So I don't know if it was a cover that went over the top of the rail to just give it glamour. And originally it is a rail that goes through the center of the carbs, but none of the pictures get below the valve covers. And the valve covers definitely show that they were the traditional kind of aluminum, magnesium color or whatever. But a lot of people that have tried to mimic, there's a lot of pictures out there that show people jumped on board building some. And of course, camera photography was not the finest back then. Because a lot of the black and white pictures, you really can't see nothing. And then I think when color kind of came into play, color wasn't quite. Because I was trying to find the curtain color too. Some of them show it white with gold fringe. Others show it being close to a champagne color, like a champagne gold. I don't know. I guess I'm not.
The Munster coach at the Barris exhibit of the Dragula and the Munster coach, the curtains were gold, like a shiny satiny gold. And yeah, I can't see I can see the 30 the Cobra air intake in between the Weber carbs, but
Yeah,
I can't see the block color. No, but
yeah.
Something in my mind says it was gold, but that doesn't mean I was right. I don't remember for sure. I haven't seen that car in ages and ages and ages.
The only time I've seen it was in black and white.
Me too. Black and white on the television.
Yep.
But I mean, according to Ford, yes, they painted the block black and they painted the valve covers gold in the cars, but the Barris changed quite a bit, so I'm just trying to get close. I mean, if I take it to a show, I want it to represent more of the original because the kit is way off of.
And then that Barris actually built two of them, and then there was a third one that was made, but he didn't sanction it. Something
Right.
was it was made by some of the guys who used to work for him or something. I don't remember the story, or it was made by.
I think that's
Made by but Dick Dean, I think maybe was one that made the third one, and Barris didn't approve it or something.
yeah. I think I read something on that one on the because there's like 2 or 3 sites that really give you some information, but again, like I said, the pictures are just everybody just kind of stuck to the body mostly. And now I gotta 3D print me a small skull because the radiator cap was actually a skull on the original.
It says the one original one was built by Barris, and then there was an unauthorized one built that he wouldn't sign off on, but his paint man ended up buying it and finishing it, and it was sold off. Then the original was sold in like 2011, and then Dick Dean's son Keith helped build a new one and restore and a new one for Barris. That was the one that was in the shop when he died.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, there's been several copies made that weren't Barris certified or whatever, however you want to call it. But yeah,
Yeah, there's quite a few that I had picked up on.
because they're just asking questions. We find out where his first one was. Let's see. When I did that Firebird, I used, what did I use? I used gray primer, but then I put gold paint under the green on it. It depends on, it depends on what you want your final finish to be. I mean, when I did the Demon in the exact same paint, I didn't have the gold on it, and that was painted on a gray primer, and it's a whole lot darker. If you put it under a white primer, the green would have been brighter. So, but on that one, this one, the one I just finished, that one has that was either white or gray primer. I don't even remember. I think it was white. And then I put the gold paint on, and then put the green on top of the gold, so that the gold shows through the green. Yeah, again, say it would depend on what your final color of metallic paint was and how you wanted it to look. If you were trying to do like an orange or a yellow metallic, then you probably would want a light color primer or a light colored barrier coat between or you would put like a gold on there before you put the metallic color on, or a silver. But if you wanted a more deeper, darker metallic, then you would probably just put it over gray or black primer and be off and running. That's where you see a lot of times, Serge, you see the people they call them spoon tests. They will take their paint, they'll pick it, just back of a spoon, and they'll prime it with whatever color they think they want to prime it with, and then they'll paint that the way they want to paint the car and see how it looks. And then they can change up the color of the primer. There you go.
Kind of like I did in my Corvette.
Yeah, man, I'll blow you up. Yeah, you can paint just like that, and you can.
I shot the Tamiya light gray primer on it, and then I shot it with the candy lead head, and then I wanted to see what the green looked like over it, so I shot it with the evergreen, and that's what I got. Now this spoon, it was shot with the same primer, and no yellow and evergreen. And that kind of come out like, to me, it's got a metallic green that looks kind of like that.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I do. You can do those because spoons. You can buy a bag of 100 spoons for a couple bucks at the dollar store.
$1.25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and
And
you
plus
just
tax here for me.
you try out your paint on those.
See, that's what I try my paint on all these spoons, and mark what I did, and
Yeah,
I
you
save
write
'em.
on the inside or on the handle what it was, what color, and how I did it. Yeah, yep, just like that.
And I save them. Matter of fact, these two can go in there now.
Yeah, it just depends on what the effect I'm wanting. Because okay, here we go. If I went with on this one, if I would have wanted this purple to be a lot darker, I probably wouldn't have put it over a silver. You know, not going to put that over a gray or a black, and that purple would have almost been black in color. But it being over silver or put it went over white, it brightens it up quite a bit. It just all depends on the look you're going for. And originally, I was going to do this in red, but I was out of red, and I didn't feel like driving 30 miles to go pick some up. So I had purple, so we did purple. Hey, Britta, how you doing tonight? How's things over there? And are you back in Germany or you're still in Sweden? Lay down a beauty. And it sounds like there's a compatibility issue between the black and the silver. Either the silver is too hot and it's reactivating the black underneath of it, or it's not adhering. Or it's not interacting enough, or it's interacting too much, one or the other. Yeah, if you do, yeah, yellow is, to me, yellow is one of the hardest colors to get to paint right. That's why I almost always paint it over white primer.
Yep.
It's just so hard to get anything to look right in yellow unless you start with a white canvas.
I thought I watched somebody do that over the new pink stuff, and it came out pretty good.
Yeah, pink will work too. Yeah, because that'll help.
Yeah, I
Right.
did. I did one of them Ollie kits in pink, and then shot yellow on it, and it turned out pretty good.
If you're trying to use a gray or a black, yeah.
Pink primer under reds, definitely.
Oh yeah. If you're trying to shoot it over a gray or a black, you're gonna it's gonna take forever to get enough paint on there to bury that primer.
Yeah,
And we'll see. If I'm doing a white car, I just shoot the white primer and put a clear on it. Same thing if I'm doing a black car. I'll just do like hit it with Mr. Surfacer 1500 black, and then I'll just clear right over the top of that. And then you got your high gloss. And it's one less step to screw stuff up. A lot of times when I'm doing the white, I'll put a white pearl or a clear pearl over the top of the white primer.
That's like that 34 Ford I did for MPC for a short track. I shot that with light gray, and then I shot TS13 over it for clear, and then I just used Novus and my wax to bring it out.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to you. I'm not scrolling. So here, let me. You're back in Sweden? Good. I'd love to be in Sweden.
Right now,
15 kilometer walk would take me 14 days.
I think I'd like to be anywhere besides here right now.
With the Firebirds, because they got those. Oh my goodness, got the emblems. As far as like the color of the birds, there's a couple spots on eBay where I buy my Firebird decals, and you can get a whole bunch of different colored ones. And then a lot of times when you buy the kit, a lot of them will come with 2 or 3 different colored birds and badges, so that you can kind of pick a color that works with whatever you're trying to do.
You remember that Firebird I built last year, that 1970 one?
Yep.
Well, my granddaughter liked the car, and last Friday I took it over to her house, and I set it on the rail of the deck in the case. And my daughter had somebody over there helping her do something with sewing, and she come out of the house and she hit that car. It went about 8 foot to the ground.
Oh,
I got it put back together yesterday. The hardest part was putting the back window back in without taking the body off. That's how she turned out now. Broke both rear tires off, broke the back bumper off. The only thing I didn't get put back on it was the rear view mirror. Because I won't separate that body from the chassis. So this Friday we go over there for a birthday dinner, so I'll take it to her again. That lady said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "It ain't your fault. It's my fault for setting it there because I knew better when I set it there."
South Korea, I've been there. That's nice. My brother-in-law, when he was in the Air Force, was stationed there. So we went there, visited.
For South Korea?
Yep.
I've been there twice. The station there in 72 to 73, and then again in 75 to 76.
Thank you for your service, Donnie.
Thank you. Last October made 30 years I've been retired from
Wow.
the military. I was in for 22 years.
So you retired straight from the military, huh?
Yep. Then I went to work for contract work, doing the same thing I did for the Army
Ah,
till I was 60 or 61 when Obama started drawing down the workforce, and I got laid off because of my age. Of course, they wouldn't tell me that.
no, they're not going to, because then they can get sued.
Yeah. And I was drawing unemployment, and every so often you got to go out there and sit through one of them classes, and the lady up front says, "Donnie, you've been here almost a year." I said, "Yep." She said, "You ain't found nothing yet?" I said, "Nope." She said, "Why?" I said, "You know why. my age, or I'm overqualified for the position.
Yeah, I like that one. Overqualified. It's just an easy way to just say, no, we don't want to because of your age.
And they don't want to pay you what you're worth. That's part of that.
That's another one, too, yes.
Not only that, some of them guys are scared you're going to take their job.
Yep. I've done that. Like I always said, if you did your job right, I wouldn't be taking your job.
So I said the heck with it and started cutting yards for a living. Did that
really?
I did that for until I was 65. And
We
then
can
I
have
got
10 in here, Serge.
then I got tired of dealing with the public, so I said the heck with that, I'm retiring completely.
Yeah, we can have 10 people in here, Serge. So if you want to come in, you're more than welcome.
I'm not retired, but I'm SSD.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, sometimes you can't help it though.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking into, I'm trying to find some more info before I find one, but I might be suing Pfizer company.
Well, that's just like 22 years, and I filed for certain parts of disability with the military. I've been turned down 4 times. And I got 4 appeals in that's been turned down. But my biggest problem is I got the Vietnam era attached to my butt.
What does that mean exactly?
You know how they treated all the soldiers coming out of Vietnam?
A little bit. I mean, my father only told me so much.
It was pretty rough. And for years, just because you've been drafted or in that era, nobody kind of didn't respect you.
Oh, because, yeah.
But at the same time, all that's gone. But if you're trying to get some of the benefits from that era,
Mm-hmm.
You have one of these.
you can forget it. Just in the last 5 years, they've started recognizing the Vietnam vets and doing things for them and mentioning them on Facebook and stuff like that. But I don't worry about it because I do pretty good like I am. I pay all my bills and I put food on the table and I keep my vehicles running.
Same here. And I get to play a little.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the wife's AC went out in her car last week and I took it to get a quote on it just to get her AC fixed. It was $26.86. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And before I had bladder cancer and tubes coming out of my back and stuff, all the work they're doing to it, I could have done it myself.
Yeah. I still do my own maintenance because I don't trust garages. I worked for a couple back in the day when I was much younger, and I saw a lot of crap. So I don't trust a single garage unless it's run by a friend.
Oh, that's like me when I was young. I worked for a service station out on 301 Bypass in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And the boss come up and gave me a razor blade. And I said, "What's that for?" "Well, when you check the oil and water under the hood, take this razor blade, put it between your fingers, and slice the fan belt a little bit." I said, "Nah,
Nah.
I ain't playing that game." He said, "You want your job?" I said, "If that's what it takes to keep my job, no."
Yeah. I worked for Sears in their service station, and I watched them, here in Florida, I watched them try to take advantage of an elderly couple with his Cadillac, telling him he needed rotors and brakes and struts and all kinds of stuff. And when the salesman walked away, I went over and I said, "Dude, he's lying to you. You don't need any of that stuff."
Yeah, the guy that works on my car does it for beer. So
We all need friends like that.
I hope that's
Yeah,
after he's done fixing it.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure
Yeah,
that's after it. That's the payments after he's done the work, right?
yeah. Well,
If he needs it first, you might have a problem.
I just drop it off and tell them there's a case in the back, and call me when the car's done.
Well, I couldn't find anything wrong with the car except the beer's missing.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that. I know that. And then he gives me a bill, whatever parts he had to spend on parts. That's all. Only thing I have to pay for.
Oh, yeah, this is fun.
That's like my son-in-law. He was a mechanic in the Army, and he worked on aircraft and helicopters and stuff for the first couple of years, and then he was a recruiter. Then he was, I don't know what, but his dad bought him a brand new John Deere lawnmower last year and had it delivered to his house. And I told him, I said, "You need to drain the fuel out of that tank and drain that carburetor before winter." He didn't do it. So this summer, he went to cut his grass and he couldn't keep it running. I said, "Take the carburetor off and clean it." He said, "No, I'm scared I'll mess it up." So I had him to bring it over to the house Sunday and sat there and supervised him taking it off so he wouldn't mess it up. And then I took carburetor cleaner and cleaned his carburetor for him and put it back on. He put it back on. He only messed up one thing this time, but we fixed it. He said, "All right, now's the time to see if it's going to run." I said, "It'll run." He fired it up, and away he went cutting grass.
Hey, Serge.
Serge, how you doing today?
Nice to see a face with the name. Guessing he might have some problems.
I hate to tell you, Jeff, you ain't gonna get them fixed no more for $600. They're replacing the condenser, the compressor, and the Schrader valve. A Nissan, to get to the Schrader valve, you got to take the cowling off where the windshield wiper is.
Is this an Altima?
No, it's a Nissan Rude.
Oh, okay. The same I have an Altima, and my girlfriend has an Altima, and I've already done 2 AC pumps on her Altima, but I had to replace the same thing, and I had to take the whole cowl and all that stuff off just to get to
The 6 hours,
firewall. It was pain in
the book quotes 7 hours of labor to do it.
a good person can do it in less, but it's up there. I think it didn't take me the whole day, but it did take the day. You know, most of it's actually having to vacuum the system down and make sure that you got no leaks before you go ahead and charge it. And then once you charge it, you're playing with that for a little bit with the gauges and everything.
Yeah.
So
Then the valve cover has been leaking for about a year and a half, so I went ahead and I looked at a video. I could have done it if I could have lasted to bend over like that, but I couldn't last like that. Shoot, I can only run the weed eater for about 30 minutes, then I'm done.
I can't. Weed eaters kill me.
So I had them go ahead and do the valve cover gasket while they're at it.
Right. What year is it?
2011.
Okay, that's about right. She's got a 2013. I didn't do just the valve cover gasket. We put a new valve cover on too because they're plastic, and I was afraid that, new gasket could still be, it could leak because then plastic stuff likes to warp as soon as you take it off, and you never get it good sealed. And it wasn't really that expensive, so I say, we'll just buy the parts, we'll get it done, do it right.
Well, the shop's giving me lifetime warranty on all of it, so
That's all that counts.
yeah. I figured, what the heck?
Yeah, you got that behind it.
She's 70 years old, and I'm 72. I'll be 73 in
Hey,
July.
Dustin, how you doing tonight?
If the car outlasts us, fine. If it gets broke again, fine. I'll have to take it back to them.
Right. Knock on wood, I've been fortunate. I have an 015 Altima, and so far, the dealership had to put a new motor in it when I bought it because it was one of those pre-certified by them saying it was perfect, and the car had problems when I got it home, and I took it back. I said, there's something wrong with this car. They checked it out and said, no, it's fine.
Hey,
I took it to my friend's shop that I worked at, and we put it on the analysis system, and sure enough, cylinders were misfiring. Took all the data back to them, and then finally they were like, oh yeah. And then they called me back and said, well, it's not an easy fix. We have to replace the short block. I'm like, well, do it. You guys said it was a perfect automobile. It's all on you.
I tell you what, I've been lucky with my GMC crew cab Z71. It's a 2007. I bought it brand new. It's got 165,000 miles on it. I put 4 batteries in it. I got the 4th set of tires on it, and I changed the oil and filter on it. And
night, Britta.
at 120,000, I did a brake job on the front and the back, and that's the only thing I've done to that truck.
Lost my horse bottle. Another bottle.
And every time I drive it to town, somebody wanting to buy it, and I said, I ain't selling it.
My dad still runs good, but being up here, it's all rusted out because of the salt and stuff. But it still runs fine.
Yeah, mine still runs fine. Being in Texas, I don't have that problem with salt and rust. The only reason I got a 4-wheel drive was in the military. At the end of my military career, I joined the Bass Club, and me and my partner Riley, he's 82 now. We fished the Bass Club for 20 years, and if you didn't have a 4-wheel drive, some of them lakes we went to, you won't get out of. 2-wheel drive, just sit there and spin, spin, spin. That's one thing I enjoyed was fishing with the Bass Club. I tried to find a model club around here to join, but I went to one of their meetings and we started talking. I said, this ain't for me. Bye.
Where in Texas are you at?
Copper's Cove.
Is that southwest, southeast, northern?
It's west of Fort Hood, about 20 miles. You know where Fort Hood is, right?
Nope. I know San Antonio, Houston, Dallas.
Okay, you know where San Antonio is?
Yep.
Okay, you know where Dallas is?
Yep.
Split it right in half.
Okay.
I'm 101 miles from Dallas and about 102, 103 miles from San Antonio. Right off the I-35, about 34 miles.
I was trying to think of the clubs, any clubs I know down that area that. There's the one in San Antonio is a real big one, and then there's one in Houston that's a real big one.
Yeah.
But, the Alamo chapter of IPMS is in San Antonio, and then the Houston one is the space something or other.
Yeah, the one here is out of Killeen, Texas, and they meet over here at one of the churches in their, I guess, what they call a rec room for a church or whatever, the third Saturday of the month. And I've been there twice, and both times it was like I was intruding. And I said, okay. I don't think I want to be a part of this mess.
Okay.
Huh. Where are you located at, Chad? He said Fort Hood was southwest of him.
Oh, he's in New England. He said all of Texas is southwest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my wife don't like to get more than 30, 35 miles away from here because of me going septic, and we never know when that's going to happen. At least this time I went a year before I went that way, and I didn't get that bad. She took me to the ER. But in 2023, she had to get the ambulance to come get me 2 or 3 times. She said she just don't want to sit there and explain to all the doctors of what's going on and them not figure it out quick enough. Because they got a show in San Antonio and one in what's the name of that town? Shoot, it's right south of Dallas. IPM's show there. I'd like to go to it, but she said, nope, we ain't going.
So the San Antonio one, I think they had moved it to that next that next big town up the highway from north of there. I don't
Austin.
remember.
Austin.
No, it's not that far up. It's like 20 or 30 miles north of there.
Oh, yeah?
Because they used to were
1,
doing
2,
it in
3.
like an old
Okay.
closed Walmart. Yeah, we can hear you, Serge.
Okay, I just want to make sure. 'Cause I was having trouble.
It's all right.
Well,
There's a convention center. I don't remember the name of the town. It's like 30 miles north of San Antonio. Oh, 35. I don't remember.
It wouldn't
That's
be
how far up.
Pflugerville, would it?
I can look it up. I don't
I
remember.
was,
Yeah.
well, here's the progress I did so far, Bob, on the Firebird GTA Wing Chance.
Okay, go ahead. We got you up on the big screen there, Serge.
Come on.
Oh, he's froze up. There he goes. There you're moving again. Okay.
Come on. Yeah. I'm trying to see. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this in back. Okay. It's gonna be a minute. Oh.
Okay. Just tell me when you're ready.
All right. But you can hear me though, correct? Oh no.
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want to make sure you guys can still hear me. All right. So far, it's not gonna show up yet, but so far I just sanded down the Firebird. But I'm trying not to overdo it, and because it's got the emblems that's already like printed, not printed, but kind of like
Okay, yeah. They're
embroidered, or what do they call it? Embroidered,
yeah.
embroidered. And if it is, I'm trying to like hitting this TV set won't turn down. Okay. So I'm trying to like hit and miss. I don't know why the camera's not showing the thing. Dang. Come on, you internet. Come on. Son of crap. Oh crap. Okay, let me try this again. I might have to turn the thing. Oh.
It's in New
So if you guys can
Braunfels.
still hear me, let me know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's what?
The Alamo show is in New Braunfels, Texas. It's a convention center, civic convention center.
New Brunswick? Okay.
Yeah. They have it. It's usually in like February, I think is when they have it.
Yeah.
January, February, somewhere in there.
She ain't gonna let me go.
And it's just a 1-day deal. I mean,
Yeah, I know, but she's worried about me going septic on the way or on the way home.
Come on, tablet. Do this for me. Let's do this for once. Come on. Please. Oh. crap. Ah,
She's trying to keep me alive as long as she can.
dang it. Well,
And she does a real good job of taking care of me, so I can't complain.
Too much.
Nah.
Gotta
Well-
complain a little bit. Otherwise, you ain't gonna have no fun.
Yeah, after I take my shower, she has to rebandages my back in 2 places where them tubes come out. She has to do that every day. And like Sunday, when we went over to my daughter's house, walking over there got the best out of me. And she said, "Sit down, I'll bring you supper to you." Because I didn't feel that great Sunday
I'm
at
gonna try
all.
again, Bob. Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll be here.
And since I got out and cut grass today, I probably won't feel good tomorrow.
Come on. Oh, crap.
Yeah, all the strip stuff is put together now. I just got to paint it gloss black.
That thing's frozen.
Couple more minutes.
Yes, I want to leave. Man, because tablet ain't working. Come on.
Okay.
Shut up.
Fred put a video up today on that 34 Ford he chopped that he painted
Oh,
with wine.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Rick. Black must have not worked for him because I know he said he wanted to paint it black.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. I enjoy mowing. It's my alone time.
Okay.
But Jeff, you hadn't mowed my yard in that 0 turn. I bounced quite a bit. But I take it slow and easy, and I take my time.
I just got a little John Deere 40-inch deck that takes about 35 minutes to mow the grass here.
I got 2.5 acres I cut, and I cut it in stages. I cut the front yard and in between the office and the house and the back inside the chain link fence, and in front of the crash shack for her, the back 40. I got parts of it I didn't even cut last year, and I'm gonna dread cutting it this year.
No, our lot's only 60 by 100, so it doesn't take too long to.
Nah.
I
Shoot,
got a Craftsman's 56, and it takes me 2 hours to do mine.
mine's a Husqvarna 46-inch zero turn.
I thought about buying a zero turn, but the Craftsman I bought's got like a close to a zero turn. It turns on a dime, but you still got all that hood sticking out in front of you.
Yeah.
But I don't really have a lot of going around things.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we got the neighbor, secondhand, got it secondhand from the neighbor, and he basically almost gave it to me just because he got a new one, didn't know what to do with the old one.
I had a John Deere 42-inch cut. Had almost 1,000 hours on it. So I went and bought that zero turn. My neighbor, he wanted to see if he could use parts off of it to fix his, so he took mine. He's still using it.
And why do you say that, Jeff? You trying to tell me you only do you don't do nothing right? I say I'm half-assed because I do half of my stuff right. The other half I do it wrong.
Okay, let's see if I can get these painted black.
I hope you got an industrial to do that much acreage. That might be right. Oh boy.
Yeah, but goats don't eat grass; they eat weeds.
Pretty much, yep.
I don't know about sheep. I don't know where they do is grass or weeds.
They'll eat pretty much whatever's on the ground in front of them.
What, sheep?
Yeah.
Up north, where I'm originally from, that's what the utility company uses goats to do all the power lines because they eat all the weeds. They eat no grass.
They eat bark. They eat barks and lower tree limbs too.
Yeah. And they work pretty fast too.
Yeah, they're kind of like a teenage boy. They'll eat whatever you put in front of them.
That sounds like my granddaughter's boyfriend.
sheep smoke grass.
Tell you what, Bob, when I sprayed that 2K clear today,
Uh-huh.
I had all my windows open, all my doors open, and my paint booth going.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that stuff.
And I had a gas mask on.
Yep.
Yeah, I bought an air purifier for my hobby room when I'm painting. It really helps knock those fumes down a lot quicker. But man, it's some pretty potent stuff.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what's more potent.
When I spray the guitars,
When
I carry them outside and hang them out and do them in the house.
When I was in G4, the maintenance sergeant major up there in G4 first cab, I had the responsibility of the first cab paint booth. Every time I'd go down that sucker to check to see how everything going, they'd be spraying that cart paint. I'd get sick as a dog. That cart paint they put on them military equipment is nothing to play with.
Yeah, we spray zinc chromate primer we use on airplanes. It's got hex chrome in it.
Oh my God.
And but I tell you what, like out in LA, my paint shop out there has massive downdraft booths. Like the whole floor is a downdraft vacuum. You can sit there and you could basically spray buck naked if you wanted to, and you wouldn't get anything on you. But
Cool.
those guys are in full. They're in full hazmat gear when they're painting that stuff.
Yeah, that's the way they are with carton painting. They're in full hazmat and protective mask and everything. And back when that stuff first come out in the late 70s, early 80s, we used to paint that stuff right in the motor pool with nothing.
Yeah, Rick, they call it a paper, a PAPR. I'm trying to remember what it stands for. It's full hood. It's got a full hood, hose, backpack, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is paper? Powered air purifying respirator. And in fact, even outdoors, anytime they're sanding paint on the airplane, they got to wear them too.
And then when the first desert storm went off and we got alerted out of Fort Hood, we had a probably 10, 15 acre field out there that everybody lined up to go to the railhead in. And most of the vehicles at that time had camouflage cover on it. They were spraying the shit out of vehicles right there in that field with sand, camouflage. No protective gear, no nothing. And then put them on the railhead to ship them off.
Yeah, when I do guitars, what I should do, I have a buddy who has an auto body shop. I should take him out there and just leave me in the body with him. So next time you're spraying a car, just shoot a little on here.
Yeah.
I don't. He'd let me paint in his booth, but that's too much work to break all that crap out for just a little guitar body.
No, I mixed up too much today for that Corvette. It was the first time I mixed it, so I know next time. Plus,
Do
I
that,
use,
or have yourself 2 or 3 ready to go, and you can.
yeah. Plus, I use that Gallery 68 that I won off Woods model car from Dave. It shot pretty good. I liked it. It's got that trigger on it.
Yeah, I have their Swallowtail, and then I also use the Harbor Freight Black Widow.
Well, I've been using my Porsche H for 30 years, and it still shoots good as long as I change the O-rings out every now and then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Harbor Freight and get one of the detail guns because I'm gonna need something way bigger when I do those that 12 scale Camaro and a 16 scale 57 Chevy, bigger than what I can shoot with the airbrush.
Yeah, I got one in my toolbox out there from when I worked at Longhorn Regional Service Center as a production control manager. Run the paint booth out there.
Yeah, I got a touch-up gun. The DeVilbiss, I think, back in the day.
Yeah, but Camaro, I think I'm actually gonna go get some of the DuPont paint for it. With the actual color.
The actual color. Oh, I think DuPont, is it?
Whatever it is, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Doopy color from the auto parts store.
Well, they've got a regular paint mixer guy there, so
Yeah,
I can get custom mix. I want to do that basically the orangey Camaro orangey yellow, almost like I think it's the one that's on the cover of the box. What I want to do, I think.
Did you
Do
see?
that or do it in red like I did Terry's, but I don't know because I liked it too. But
Did you see the video Fred put out today where he got his 1/12 scale parts from Matthew?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were some big 3D parts. The back half, the wheels.
You got the Pro custom motor too, a supercharged.
Yeah, the 572.
I don't think. I think he had that. It's just specially done for him. They're not. I don't know if they're going to produce that or not.
Yeah, it's Fred said today on his video that Fred was Matthews gonna have it on his website.
Oh, okay.
he's got the back half and the wheels on there. I don't know if he's got the engine on there yet.
No, I don't think so because today's the first time I seen anything on the engine. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and go take my pills, and
Okay.
y'all have a good night and enjoy
too.
it. Enjoyed everybody in the chat. Take care.
You
We'll-
too, Donnie. Good
we'll-
seeing you.
You too. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
What?
I think Carnival Red. I think that's the name of the color that I'm thinking about doing. That Camaro in. It's not red. It's got called red, but it's really orange. It's a GM color that was available in '69, so I'm assuming it would have come on that Camaro. And they had some of them were painted with a Sherman Williams, and some of them had DuPont paint on them, I do believe. Depending on what plant they were produced in.
Oh, that's good.
That's all right, Serge. We'll be here next week. It might even be on Friday or later in the week. Ted's on tomorrow night, so there's always plenty of opportunities to get on and hang out. Oh yeah, I gotta fix that. I forgot. Put that right here before I lose it. Okay. Canada's concentrate. Bitch. Soldering irons are hot. Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, yes, they are.
Smells like chicken in here now.
So where are you getting all your lights for your, are you buying a kit somewhere or?
I buy them in bulk. LED strip.
Yeah. Oh, a strip?
Yeah. And then I've got some like 2mm ones that you can buy them in bulk for different various colors.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this Mobius F250 lighting it up. It's got that roll bar with the spots on it. I think that would look cool. Some lights.
I got the ones, last ones I got off of Amazon, I do believe. And it was like 10 packages of 10. Each one was a different color. Each 10 was a different color. And I think it was like $15 or $16.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it's got like orange, yellow, green, warm white,
How are you
red,
powering?
purple, pink, yellow, white, and pink. I'm powering it with the 12-volt power supply.
Oh, okay.
But you could actually run these on a lot less. This LED tape is a 12-volt system. So for the small ones, I just put a 1K or 1,000 ohm resistor. So here, I can hook it up here real quick. Let's see here. Do this. I'll turn this off. That'll help. So, like the green one there in the back and the yellow one on the bottom, those are the 2 millimeters, and I got a 1K resistor running to those, and then all these underneath and the ones here on top are all the strip tape, and those were running on 12 volts. And then same thing for
What is that? A Romulan Warbird?
sort of. It started life as a Romulan Warbird, but I'm turning it more into like a scout class ship. Through half of it went into the burn pile, basically.
Yep.
So now it's gonna look more like a Cylon, actually. From
Yeah.
BS2. It's still gonna be a Romulan, but it's gonna look more like a Cylon Raider. Because here's the
Sweet. Oh, that looks cool.
the front of it.
Very cool.
So it's got the big bridge light there, and then 2 smaller ones below, and then the one in the center is the torpedo launcher thing. And then the ones on the side, those are like phaser type things. They're all right in the right place to represent the eyes, so it's kind of cool.
That's gonna be sweet.
And then here I can pseudo stick it together, so it's kind of this up.
I was wondering if you're gonna get any bleed through, or are you gonna?
The inside was all painted in black first,
Okay.
and then painted silver on top of the black, and then I'm going to prime it on the outside, and then paint it. So there may be a few spots that need a little extra attention. But yeah, basically, that's what it's going to look like. And then the engines are going to hang right here below the wings. Grab one. Gonna sit like that.
Nice.
Cool.
Get my arm out of the way. Yeah, that's basically what it's going to look like. And these will have lights in them too. So I haven't done a full-on spaceship in a long time, so it's kind of. And this was given to me for the specific purpose of doing this, so I figured I'd tackle it next. In between other builds. Since I don't have my parts for the 66 GTO yet, I figured I'd work on this one.
Donnie missed the fun here with the wiper blades. If you've never done a wiper blade before, these are quite enjoyable.
Quite enjoyable.
Yeah, well, I got one done. I'm about to put the other one together. If you can, God, you guys can't even see that, can you? Or this. Ah, there we go.
I have a hard enough time putting the one-piece ones on there.
Yeah, so this is the finished one. They're 2 different sizes, but you got the vertical part of the blade, the flat part of the blade. I have to bend that to make the box. Then you got the arm, which I've already bent to give it the shape that it needs. And then you get you end up with this. I'll just show it up here. And of course, I got to prime and paint that still, but you get the wiper arm with the three-dimensional blade, three-dimensional
Oh,
box to it.
that's cool.
It's a pain in the ass, but they look super amazing when they're done. Trick is only bend them once so they don't break. Here, I'll show you. Keep me up there for a second.
Okay.
I used to skip the photo etch blades, and then I did. The first time I actually took the time to do a set proper was on this Alfa Ferrari. See if those show up. And
Yeah.
the amazing thing with this, I used a picture of a real car. These wiper blades are the exact shape and everything.
Cool.
So it's a pain in the ass, but it's worth it at the end. It's just
Right.
one of those little details the judges always look at and go, "Holy shit, how'd you do that?"
Right. Exactly.
And it's the kind of thing that makes a difference. I mean,
Yeah,
like old Tom says, the difference between a first and second place is a lower radiator hose.
yeah, that's true. Some of those little details. So yeah, I used to just leave them off, and then I finally did one. I went, "Oh man, that is definitely worth the effort." You know, the funny thing, like when you're putting them together, they're super fragile, but once you get a little glue on there, like these, the blade and the support go like at a T to each other. So once the glue dries, it's super strong. You just gotta, it's just about having the patience. You know? I could not do this without a magnifier. Weird though, this the arms on these were super stiff. I'd never seen that before. I had to actually use the photo etch bender on them. Normally I just fold them over with a tweezer.
Hey Don, how you doing tonight? I'm sorry I forgot to send you a text. I know I'm supposed to do that, but I always forget. But you can pretty much figure I'm going to be here
Thanks, Gary.
every
If
Tuesday
that.
at 7 unless something bad happens.
Yeah, I was giving you grief. I didn't know it was. Sorry, I didn't know were having issues with your mom. But
Yeah.
6:30, I checked in. It said 7. I come back at 7. It says 7:15. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Well, I was going to start then, but I was just finished giving her dinner. It was like 5 minutes till, and I was like, man, I'm not going to have time to get down there and start it. So I just got on my phone and bumped the time up 15
I
minutes.
just assumed you were like me and not organized.
Yeah, it just wasn't getting enough. There wasn't enough time between getting all her dinner and squared away and getting down here and fired up. So I bumped it back by 15 minutes.
Speaking of dinner, I gotta step out. Mine's done. I just got the call. So if you guys are still on when I'm done, I'll jump back in.
Okay.
I'll see you either later or next time around.
All right, man.
All right. Have a good night, Norm.
All right.
Oh, I didn't realize that noise was coming from his camera. I'd gotten so used to it, I didn't even notice till it left.
He probably didn't have noise cancellation on. Next time if he comes in again, I'll check. I think I can change that on his from here. From my end, I think I can change that setting on him.
I've gotten so spoiled on Zoom. The noise cancellation's gotten so good. Somebody can. My dog's been sitting right next to me barking. Nobody can hear it. Or I can be running the spray booth. Nobody hears it. You can play music as long as nobody's talking. As soon as somebody talks, it picks it up.
Yeah. There's many times that my mom is down here because she doesn't want to be alone, and so she's got the TV on going in the background and the noise cancellation. covers most of it. I mean, when I go back and rewatch to check, make sure it get a good recording. You can kind of sort of hear it, but not really.
Yeah, I was so used to it. I was using my electric sander the other day. Like, who the hell is grinding? I'm like, yeah, that's weird. Then I realized it was me.
Yeah, you should have under the audio settings. You should have a noise cancellation.
Yeah, I think I had
option.
it on this one because
Yeah, noise and echo suppression. Yep.
I think I have it on here, like on Stream Deck. Um, yeah, I've got it on here. I don't know how well it works. Stream Deck doesn't have any of that stuff.
It's usually not too bad unless somebody's got YouTube on, and you get the feedback loop.
So who's Sluggo?
He lives in New York.
Oh, somebody you guys know?
Yeah.
Yeah, seen him on before. I don't think I've ever met. It's funny you said ice cream. That's what I called my. I was trying to come up with a name when I first got back in the hobby. I was going to set up I have a Facebook page. I just never remember to update the damn thing. And I didn't even realize people were doing social media and live streams and stuff. So I basically just set it up as a place to put my pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had the nickname Lieutenant Dan for so many years. I just called it Lieutenant Dan's Ice Cream and Scale Models.
Yeah, mine used to originally be the Rusty Spud Aerodrome, but I never didn't get much traction. So when I changed it to King Bob after the Minions movie, and that kind of helped.
Oh, I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah. Because my dad was an iron worker, and a retired iron worker is called a Rusty Spud because that was a tool they used was a spud wrench. And I used to do mostly aircraft, so it was Rusty Spud Aerodrome.
I got the nickname. I was an aircraft mechanic in the Air Force, and one of the first civilian, I think it was my second civilian job, working for a little charter airline. A friend of mine, we're good friends now. We were at work one night. We were debating whether we needed to change a tire on an airplane or not, and I was like, "Well, the limits are this." And he looks at me and goes, "Listen, Lieutenant Dan, this isn't the Air Force anymore." And that name has stuck ever since.
Could be worse.
In fact, it's kind of funny. People that don't know mine and his history, when he calls me, he calls me Lieutenant. He doesn't call me anything else. People are like, did he serve under you? I'm like, no, he just gave me the nickname. Ironically, Forrest Gump came out while I was in boot camp. And, you're totally isolated from the world at that point. And they would give us news updates anytime we had classroom time. And they're like, yeah, #1 movies in the country, Forrest Gump. We're like, what? What the hell's a Forrest Gump? And, of course, they don't tell you anything about the movie other than that. So first thing I did when I got out of boot camp was I went and rented that movie.
Forward, can I put this? Hi, Mark. How you doing tonight?
I think photo etch is just one of those things you got to practice at it.
Yeah.
I had
It is.
kits that I got rid of when I got back in the hobby because I never built them because I had so much photo etch and it just scared me. And once you start working with it, it's not terrible. Sometimes it will try your patience, though.
I kind of got used to it doing all those aircraft because all the cockpits are almost completely photo etched.
Having a good bender and a roller and good tweezers, man, that's just the key, I think. If you've got good tweezers, it's not bad at all. One of the things I found ironically, as much as I love Tamiya's stuff, man, their tweezers suck. How they can put out so many good things and then their tweezers suck.
I couldn't even tell you where I got these, but I got them 15 years ago, and they're my go-tos.
I got. I'm trying to remember. I got these. These are some Japanese thing off of Scale Riders. They're curved, and then I got these from Pro Scale. I don't know where we got these from. They're just a straight version, but they're super fine tipped. I take that back. Tamiya's decal tweezers are pretty good. They're great for decals because they got that big flat head on them. Now this is bad. This is so small I can't even see it with my magnifier. Oh, wait a minute. I got this little 10 times thing here. Aha. Like being in a freaking electron microscope.
Double. Well, that's the way it normally is, Redden. You can hardly fit a 500-page book into 108 minutes, 110 minutes, or 11 minutes, whatever it is that they shoot for. You kind of hit the highlights, and then
I didn't even know that was based on a book. I learned something new. Well, I got to pick up the book if they left that much of the book out because that movie covered quite a bit. There we go. Oh my God. I had to go to a 10 times magnifier to see this.
Yeah, Gary, we definitely don't want to see that.
What's that?
Said he would come on and show you, but he's naked and covered in honey.
Oh, he must be ready for his own live stream. Yeah, I watched these guys do ships and stuff. I don't know how. You got to have a special sort of, I think, personality to handle those things.
Mark does ships.
God, I see the little railings and ladders and stuff. I'm like, that would just drive me insane. I'd have a bad day, frustrating day with one of those that send it across the room.
He's doing a Flying Dutchman right now, if I remember right.
Oh wow, a lot of rigging.
something else. Make on 3 long. I think that would do it. 1, 2, 3.
Man, it's quiet tonight. Where's everybody?
Don't know. Jimmy's probably at work.
And no, Sluggo Lieutenant Dan does not love honey. Yeah, Jeff, I got in just after SAC had been disbanded. In fact, I was on KC-10 tankers. When I got to my base in 94, some of them still had the SAC, what do they call that? The big, not a stripe, but the big stripe around the top of the plane. And they were repainting them. They disbanded SAC 93 or 94, I think it was. So they moved to tankers, which is what I was on under Air Mobility Command. So we got stationed with all the cargo jets out at Travis in California.
Yeah, Scott Air Force Base here in St. Louis is Air Mobility.
Yeah, that's the command headquarters, AMC. Used to be MAC. And I went in when they were doing all the renaming and the reorging and got rid of SAC, renamed MAC to AMC instead of Military Airlift Command, Air Mobility Command. Now, this is the weirdest damn set of wipers. Is one of these for the back window? No. Christ, one of these wipers is like twice as long as the other one. I've never seen that before. That is weird. So I have to find some pictures on the real car. I wonder if this is one of these things where the two wipers mount together. Yeah, I can't tell. Huh. Those wipers on that Ferrari I was just showing you, I couldn't figure out how they went. I had to go look at the real car. Thank God for the internet. Oh.
Okay, that will work.
Oh, interesting. I forgot about that.
Okay, so that's what we're going to have to do that. Scirocco only had one wiper. That would make life easy.
Let's see, Ferrari Roma wipers. Let's see, maybe we got a picture. I can buy some wipers.
Hey, Don.
What's up, fellas?
We just hanging.
Did I hear correctly that Matthew Emmons is offering parts, Pro Street stuff for that.
12 scale Camaro.
Yeah,
He's got a back half and he's got wheels. And he may be going to do an engine like a 572. I think he had Fred had him print up, I think, a 572. I don't know if he's going to put that on his website or not, but he does have the back half and wheels and tires like Krager's, or he's got like drag set of Krager's, and then he's got rally wheels that would be normal size, no modifications needed to fit them.
good. I got someone I can send to him, and that way I don't have to do it.
And then Iceman's got a couple of parts he's going to have for it too. When I do the interior, Serge, it depends on the car what I do. Some of them, I just do a real basic thing on them, and then others I really deck out. It depends on what you're going to be able to see once it's installed. If it's a convertible, then I'd go all out. Or one that you can see in pretty well, like the Banshee, where you can really see in there. When I just did this one, this Chevelle, you can't really see jack in there. So I basically just, since it was like a drag car, put bare metal foil around both sides and the back of the tub, and then painted the floorboard black and just called it a day. Because unless you get in there with a light, let me blow it up. You can't see jack shit in there anyway.
Interesting. All right, I would have never guessed that that's how that went.
So you really can't see much in there. So I'd say if I stick a light in there, then you can kind of. So I just did the basic dash and seats, and just did it. And it said the sidewalls in the back, since it's a dragster, I just bare metal foiled it, make it look like it was an aluminum tub put in there. Did have one positive thing happen this week while I was digging up all the electronics to do this spaceship with. I found the 5 awards that I knew that I had that I'd lost years ago. They were in the same box. I knew I had these 5 plaques, and I had no clue where they were at. And I was getting do I wet sand the interior? Generally not.
Nah, wash it up and paint it, maybe.
Because you're using mostly flat colors in the interior anyway. Flat or satin colors. You're not looking for a high sheen, and the fabric would be textured anyway. So
Yeah, I've gone to flat coating my interiors. I just think it gives them just the right sheen.
yeah. Like on that Viper, I just used the gray primer. I just used the gray primer, and that was the color of the interior. And then I just picked out some stuff, like the door handles and switches and knobs and whatnot, and painted those. But the rest of it's just a gray primer. I think you can still get those colored binder things for like school projects. Is that colored acetate on them? Yeah, I do believe you can. If not, you can go online and look for theatrical gel shadow samples, and for a couple bucks they'll send you a sheet or a little book that's got all the colors in it that they have available for the lighting for theaters, to put the different colored gels in front of the lights. For my if I want to tint the windows, I usually use the Mission models. Which one do I have for black? I spray it on the inside. Let me find it. I bought it for something else and I didn't like it, and one day I thought I'd try it on that, and it's not this one. This is the gloss black. Where's the other one at? And I didn't like it because it didn't have enough opacity to it when I was painting it on, and that gave me the boom light bulb to use. Hey, try to use that for tint, and I've been using it for tint ever since. Let me see, where is it? Try to find it. Let's see which one it is. There's a Florida Wash, Super Chrome. There's my Createx I never have gotten around to using. I think it might have just said black on it. I don't even know where it's at right now. I can't find it. I know it wasn't the gloss black base for chrome. It wasn't that one. I think it just said black. But it didn't have enough opacity to me when I was painting it, so then I just use it for tinting like T-tops, and I use it to tint spray the inside of the glass on the limousine and stuff like that.
Is that an acrylic? What is it?
Yeah, it's acrylic. It's mission models paint.
I use the Tamiya X19 smoke, dark smoke. That works pretty well for tinting, but you got to put on in real light coats, build it up.
Yeah, this is a water-based paint compatible with all urethane primers, paints, and varnishes. Do not thin. Use with all airbrushes. Recommended to wear the masking whatnot. Improved respirator while spraying. But yeah, the one, I think the other one just said black or matte. I think it was matte black. It was just not, the opacity just wasn't there for wanting to paint something in the actual black. I have not tried that other one for the gloss for chrome. But I said for window tint, it works out real well. Yeah, we get to work on the 37 on Saturday. I'm going to try to get some primer and maybe some paint on there before then if the weather cooperates, so that I can work on. Otherwise, as soon as the live starts, I'll have it put the paint down. I won't be able to do anything on it. I'm going to pay the water bill. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Bob, that little Malibu come out pretty nice.
I grabbed it while I was coming back from the bathroom. So you can still see through it, but it's
Is that a kit bash or somebody?
Yep. I grafted two together. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that it's there. You can see through it, but it's dark. Yeah, that was a Frankenstein that came out of my brain one night. Made many mistakes on it. And I'll build it again one day. And now that I know where I screwed up, I can make the next one better.
God, I hope these fit. I don't even know why I doubt Alpha. This is just pure evil right here. These little side markers are just a little speck of resin.
All right, Red. You have a good night.
Take care, Red.
That will work. That will work. That will work. Okay. Oh. Yeah, we've had storms off and on since last Friday, Saturday, and I'm supposed to have them all week again too. So I don't know if I'll get that paint on there or not. I'll try to. If it's not too bad, I can do the stick the hose out the door trick on it with the paint booth. Of course, I don't even know what color I want to paint it yet, so there's that. I want to paint something that'll stand out, but not something that's gaudy. I've got this. I got a couple of different blues. Got the icy blue, and I got the what do they call it? The patriotic blue or American blue or whatever. I can't remember what the name of it is. That's purple. That's not the one I want. Deja blue. That's one. So I got like 3 different blues. The other one.
There's Deja Blue and Star Spangled Blue.
That's the other one, yeah. And this one's a Delta blue. And I just picked up the one I just picked up was that Star Spangled one. Trying to find it.
That's a pretty colored blue. My little Ranger that's up there on the shelf painted that color.
The Delta blue is dark, more purpley. And then the Deja blue is there. The Delta and the Deja blue look really close. It's a little more purpley, and then there's the. I'm kind of leaning towards this icy blue, but I might probably down to one of these two. Probably either be the dark blue or the light blue there. I'm thinking on it. Because I haven't done a blue car in a while.
I've done too many blue cars.
Oh, we're probably in between in the 18, 19, 20 time period. Yeah, I probably did more blue cars than anything else. But lately I've been doing a lot of white and yellow and green. So I think it's about time to get back to blue. I'm not a huge fan of doing a car in black unless it's a car that needs to be black type thing. So.
Yeah.
And also, I'm kind of burned out on red right now too.
Damn.
should work. Be bright as all shit, but it should work. Oh, Len Dawson, yeah. Yeah, remember. Plays for Kansas City Chiefs, yeah. It was on that Inside the NFL show on HBO. Okay. That will work. That will work. That will work. Where is it? Cold. Yes, it's cold. Now I can put that away. So I don't cook my hand on it again. Okay, so I need to make 2 pieces for that, and then make both of those. We should be good to go. Be ready to start closing it up. Yes, so I think it's pretty much a miracle with the shit that I did when I was young that I gonna make it to 60.
Same here. Well, my family took bets I wasn't going to see 30.
There were way too many hold my beer incidents when I was young.
Yeah. Ah.
Finish cutting those out. I can tell you things like at 145 miles an hour, the doors on the Trans Am feel like they're about to pop, get ripped off by air pressure. That means it's time to slow down.
Well, that's a pain in the ass, but that's pretty cool, I think. I'm going to have to repaint it a little bit. Tiny little side markers.
Good grief.
Yeah, it's just a speck of resin. I put silver on it and clear. I'm going to put the clear orange on again because it got rubbed off. I had to do a little bit of trimming. That's kind of a neat look. I think I'll let that dry before I do the other side. I'm real happy with this kit, although I was originally not interested in building it.
It's funny how that happens sometimes. You start doing
Just it
something,
didn't
just to kill
interest
time.
me. It's kind of like it's a sedan, but I saw a few people that did it and went, man, that's a pretty cool looking car. I gotta get some pictures when I'm done because the cameras do not pick up this color for squat. It looks like dark blue. It's actually a really nice purple.
I had the trouble with that emerald green 66 GTL, the one that I set the Fafa. Inside, it just looked black around the camera and under lights. And if you took it outside, the sun would just overpower it. And
I noticed that in the picture he took, they look real dark. I think sometimes a sunny indoor room is the best way to see colors.
and outside, the white balance and everything on the camera says, "Whoa, what are you trying to do to me?" I couldn't get a good
Although I
outdoor
had
picture.
that 67 Chevelle I did for my neighbor's kid. That was Chevy Jetstream Blue, and you couldn't see the metallic in it indoors. I had to take it out in the sun to get a shot. Luckily, it was a cloudy day, so it was just about right.
Or was
You could
it
see the color without it overpowering.
the color shift on that Lambo in person looks amazing, but the camera just does not want to pick it up.
I think Alpha's got somebody with dyslexia doing their instruction manuals. This is at least the third set of parts that I've put on this car where they've got the left and right backwards. Said 61 on the left, 62 on the right. Nope, that was exactly the opposite.
That one rail dragster that I'm working on for my brother, the instructions have you putting one side of the frame on upside down.
That's a Polar Lights funny
These,
car chassis.
These taillights are cool. They fit into the body and then you can see them from the top. It's pretty neat.
Cool.
Just got to glue them in. Generally, you don't have to test fit Alpha stuff. They usually fit pretty good, but every once in a while, you'll get something a little bit wonky. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. I don't know how these guys do it with this all being cast resin. Even the clear parts are cast resin, and the fit and finish is just incredible. I didn't do any trim at all, just right off the screw.
Well, I mean, it done right. You know, it just takes time to produce a real quality part. Problem is, most people don't want to pay the price.
Yeah, well, I mean that, I know there's a very small market for people that are willing to pay this much for a kit. I really fully acknowledge that, but man, and it's hard to say if this is a good value for the money. I mean, it's a very enjoyable, they're very enjoyable kits to build, but they are very expensive.
Well,
his point system works out pretty good. I think I ended up getting this kit. I bought 3 kits off of him. He did some package deal for 3 kits, and then I had like 175 points from posting on his social media and helping him with surveys and things. So I basically got this kit for free.
Good night, Edward.
take care, Edward.
So I'm looking at it on my 55-inch screen, and I'm seeing the purple.
Yeah, like right there, it kind of looks blue. It's a Lamborghini color. It's really nice. In fact, the weirdest thing I saw Lamborghini by my house the other day, and I swear to God it was this color, which I'd never seen before. It's just a super vibrant purple.
Wherever the light's catching it, I see purple, and then anywhere else it's either dark blue or black on the screen.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I think it's the LED lights. Well, no, because it looks totally purple here in my hand.
Yeah.
The cameras. I'm gonna look up and see if there's a.
But on my computer screen, yeah, it does look blue. But on my TV screen, it looks purple.
I have a color I did a 2-part. I think it was also Lamborghini color.
Yeah, they don't.
That had this really. It was like a teal, like this, a greenish teal. The cameras would not pick it up. The phone would pick it up. So I actually took a picture on the phone and held it next to the actual thing, and you could see the 2 different colors. It was nuts.
Yeah, it is absolutely purple on my television, but on my computer screen, it's blue.
Yeah, maybe that's it too. Because I'm looking at my computer screen right now. It looks mostly blue, and it doesn't have a lick of blue in it.
But yeah, on the TV, it's purple. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Real happy that I love this color too. I still got a half a bottle of this left. I'm going to do on something else. I don't know if you can see this too. Look at the focus. The fluting on the exhaust pipes. The kind of detail they do on these things. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Come on. There we go. Oh, you see the fluting inside the pipes?
Yep.
That kind of detail is just incredible. Like, who does that,
Yeah, so I can see that on the 55-inch picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the kits. They're a little. If you want to do a lot of detail like the interior, I did a lot of 2-tone. It takes a little bit of time, but in the end, it's really worth it. I learned when I did one of my first kits that, like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, the door panels and the dash have like tons of pieces, and it's like, why? But if you look at the real car, it lets you paint. Lets you paint those in the individual colors that they're supposed to be.
Hey, Onyx. It looks blue on. He says it looks blue on his TV.
Thanks, Serge. Yeah, I put up a. Let's see if I can find it. I put up a picture last. See if I can find it here. There it is. I put, oh shit, how do I shoot? I don't even know if it'll let me post this link.
It should, because did I give you a wrench? I believe
Oh yeah,
so.
there it is. Yeah, if you click on that link, you can see what it actually looks like.
Let me go over to the other page here and I can pull it up as soon as it catches up.
I got a rooster, and your donkey eats the feed off my rooster. What do you have? You got 2 feet of my cock in your ass. If you got a donkey,
There you go, Sluggo. If you click on that link, you can see what it actually looks like. It almost looks a little blue in that picture too.
And, did you type it on the you have to type it on the YouTube page.
I put it in. Yeah, I put it. YouTube. It's in the chat. Showing up for me.
Well, showing up on the Restream chat, but it's not showing up in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, it's showing up on YouTube for me. I think it strips those things out for some reason. Yeah, it's true. Right?
There it is. There it is. Now it's coming. My YouTube page is so far behind World Riot. That's the problem.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Mine keeps stopping, and then I have to keep clicking live to get it to catch up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it for a kid I wasn't gonna build. I saw a couple of guys on YouTube put up their build videos, like, oh yeah, that I got to do that. It's always these last details that take the longest. Still got a little bit of photo etch to do. I got to get these little tiny headlights fit into the into the grooves. Oh, it's all down to photo etch. Oh man. Photo etch and the clear bits.
That sounds cool. Midnight Blue on 55 Chevy with Create Tex Gold Chrome on the Chrome. That sounds cool.
Serge, will I sell this? I don't know if anybody would be wanting to pay what I would want out of this. I have bought a finished Alpha model from somebody before. It cost me a few bucks, but it was Alpha only does like 100 kits at a time, and you never. And I think they do that to help inflate the prices, But they did a Singer Porsche DLS, which was one of their. It was called Design Light Study. It had a lot of carbon fiber. Anyway, I saw a video of it built. I knew someone that had the guy that had built it. And I was trying to buy one myself, and it was out of stock. After about 8 months of it being out of stock, I said, hey, will you sell me your finished one? And I bought it off of him. I got it. It looks awesome. But then at the same time, I was like, it's not the same when you didn't build it, But it's on my shelf, and I love it. But then about 6 months later, the kit became available again. I bought one of my own. So now when I build it, I'm going to have his finished model next to it as a inspiration. Or a Chinese blueprint. Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. I try to depending on the kit, like when I build these, I try to build these contest quality so I could enter them, but sometimes they don't cooperate. It does have a little bit of orange peel in the clear. I found out here in my basement, I've got to not only warm it up when I'm painting in the winter, but I've got to keep it warm while it dries. It's not super terrible, but I notice it. I don't know if sometimes you get to those model contests and they got all those fluorescent, big tube lights, and you see stuff in your paint like, oh my God, I never even noticed that before. I did a contest in Memphis last year. I put this kit on the table, my Olds 442. Did not realize there were scratches in the roof and the trunk until I saw it under their big lights and went, oh God, that looks terrible.
That's usually how most of my builds go. I think they're done, and I shoot the video and the pictures, and then I go back and watch the video on the 55-inch television. I see all
What
kinds of shit
happened?
that I missed.
That's one of the reasons I like.
How did I let that
That's
go
one of the
through
reasons I like building under the magnifier a lot, because if I can't see the flaw in the magnifier, it'll probably be okay. Plus, I can't see that small stuff anymore.
On the Firebird, I took all the pictures for it and forgot that I had not put the radiator hose on. I didn't see that until afterwards when I was shooting the video, and I was saying, "Man, I put the radiator hoses look in there, and it wasn't on there."
Yeah, the dust particles. One of the things that frustrated me out in California in the shows, but I think the judges kind of acknowledged it as, you get your kits on the table, I dust them all off, and they're good, and you come back a couple hours later, and there's freaking dust everywhere. I usually, if I'm got something that I'm seriously trying to compete with, I will usually come around and dust the model a couple times, so especially right before. Dust is just one of those things, man. Dust can be a real nightmare.
Usually the week before a show, I pull each one out and to the workbench here, and I clean it and polish it and all that stuff, and then I take this with me to the show.
Yep.
After I get them out on the table, and I'll wipe them down again once I make sure I got no fingerprints on them. Then the last thing I do is put her over with that makeup brush to make sure there's nothing.
That's pretty much what you do with a big car at a big car show.
Yeah, true. It's true. It's another process. One of the things I did a Nova for a buddy that looked I did the Revell 69 Nova, looked just like the real car he used to have. And when I sent it to him, I bought him a storage case for it. And he sent me a picture, and he had it sitting out on his like entertainment center. And he didn't have it in the case. I'm like, dude, put that thing in the case, man. Dust is the number one thing that's going to ruin that kit if you leave it out. Especially that dust that gets baked on over time.
Yep.
Gets a little cooking grease or smoke mixed in with it. It becomes like super glue on there.
Yeah, once that dust, once it's on there, gets it dry, man, it just gets caked. And so my kits, sometimes you'll see me. I'll have, like, if I'm late stage, I'll have them covered like this if I leave them out, or I put them back in a container. But as soon as I'm done, they go in a case, and they only come out of the case for a show. Oh. All right, now.
In fact, most of my active show cars are not even in the case; they're packed in their.
Yeah, you just keep the light off them.
Yeah, it just makes it easier when I get ready to go to the show. They're already boxed up, ready to go. I just pull them out and go give them a once over, make sure the mirrors aren't broke off or something silly like that. And then once they've done their tour of duty on the shows, then they go into my big acrylic case. Till I run out of room in there, then I got another one of those out at my brother's shop that I take it out there and put them in there where they live out the rest of their life and raise them.
The retirement home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do that, especially people that compete. Like, there's some kids who do that. You're like, this is never going to a contest, you know, either intentionally or accidentally.
Well, unless it's just really roached out, I'll take it anyway.
Yeah, I've had a couple where I've had like maybe a late build disaster. And I'm like, well, that's not a show car anymore. All right, I was test fitting this light and it dropped in beautifully. Now, what are the chances I can do that now that there's glue in here? 0. God, I had a nightmare the other day. That blue Ferrari had out earlier, I showed you the wipers. I took that to a model club meet, and it was fine. I got it home, and there were some fingerprints on it, so I'm dusting it off, and I break one of the side mirrors off, which it had broken off in transport when I moved from California, so it was just a re-break. So as I'm getting that back on, I'm not careful where I grab the car, and I end up breaking off the rear view mirror from inside the window because it's a convertible. And I was like, oh, this is not going well. So I get the mirror back on, and I go to put I get the side mirror on. I go to glue the rear view mirror on, and I'm using CA glue, and I put a drop on the mirror, and I go to fit it, and of course the son of a bitch pops out and sticks itself to the window. I was like, I just ruined a contest car. But apparently the acetate windows, the debonder doesn't really affect them the way it does plastic. So I was able to get that window cleaned up and get everything put back together, and I was like, oh, okay, this sucker is not coming out again till there's a show. Yeah, I don't know the show thing. I mean, I like to go to show. I like to see other people's stuff too, and I love seeing what they do and how did you do that, and getting ideas for stuff I want to copy. It's nice to win. It's nice that people like it, but it's not the primary reason. I did contests for years when I was in Northern California, and there was a lot of contests I walked away empty as I was learning.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's more enjoyable than winning anything is having someone come up to you and either compliment you or ask you how you. I think that's probably one of the best compliments when somebody asks how you did something.
Yep.
Especially if you know they're competing and they've got good stuff, I have found too, though, it's kind of interesting. Depending on the venue, well, you really need to think about what cars you're bringing. So, a lot of the local clubs out in Los Angeles, I bring my Porsches, and I've got classic American hot rods too that I love. But I went to Spirit of Speed, it's called, at the NHRA Drag Race Museum in Pomona, California, back in 23, about 18 months ago. And I put my Porsches on the table. I had my Porsches. I had a 62 Impala that I had done as a replica of my father-in-law's dad's car, and a couple other hot rods. And the Porsches, which I thought were my better work, didn't get even looked at. I watched them do the judging, like they walked right past those suckers. That 62 Impala beat out like 50 other cars in factory stock. I was like, get the hell out. That's what they liked at that show. They were all about muscle cars. And I was like, interesting. Next time, leave the German automotive at home and bring some more American cars. So sometimes you just miss out because you brought the wrong subject, which was
Our show that they have the European and supercars are broken out in their own category.
I like when they do that. A lot of contests they don't, or they lump all the foreign in together. And that was something I found when I went to Memphis last year. They didn't have a supercar, they didn't have anything like that. Like usually they'll do like Japanese, domestic, or they'll split up like supercars, hypercars. Well, they had just one category foreign. So my Nissan Fairlady Z, my Ferraris, and my Porsches all end up competing against each other. When each one of them could have been a category winner. I always love, you get the guys that intentionally build stuff to enter in as many categories as possible. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
There was a guy there brought home like 30 trophies. He had something in every category. I was like, good God. That man really wanted to win. He had good stuff, don't get me wrong, but I've just seen that from a few people that go and put that stuff in there just because it fits a category.
I just kind of figure 8 or 10 that I can find that I can shotgun across the categories, and
Yeah.
just to get more representation on the table, because some of the shows, especially the IPMS show here in St. Louis, cars, there's maybe 30 cars total
Really?
on the table.
Wow. I tell you, in SoCal, man, you go to a contest, especially the contests, that were cars only, looking 500, 600 cars.
Yeah.
I didn't do any IPMS shows when I was out there. Back in the 90s when I was in Northern California, I did. Yeah, and you're kind of right. It was mostly
aircraft and armor.
and aircraft, yeah. And I tell you what, I love looking at people's aircraft work. I don't know, I just don't enjoy building them.
Well, you work on them all day long, so it's like.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it too. Like not a lot of people probably model what they do for a living. I think that's part of the mental block too, is when intimate details, you go to build it, it's like it's never going to be as good as a real thing. Oh, you son of a bitch. I knew this was going to be a pain. I contemplated putting these headlights in before I put the socket in the car. It'd probably be okay. And it is not.
Yeah, the Mississippi or Midwest Model Vehicle Show, they had which is a car only show, they had maybe 80 cars on the tables, maybe 100.
Really? Wow.
And I say at the IPMS show, it was less than that, about 30 or so.
I know the Memphis show, Riff Raff's club put on an excellent show. There was quite a few cars there, but a lot of the categories were just kind of bare. And I hope they do better this year. I plan to going again this year because it really was it was a very nicely put on show.
Look, let's see if I have on this computer, if I have. Nope, I don't have the full one here. On this computer, the full show. Oh, there I do. So which one was it? I forgot which one it was.
I kind of stopped doing the PMS ones back in the day because the judging was so shitty. They'd have guys that don't know anything about cars. or you go to the circuit and you get the same judges every time. It's like this guy always knocks the same kids for the same reasons. I would like a second opinion, please.
Yeah, like I'm time to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, like Street Rod into last show had looks like it. I don't think I took the pictures a little bit early, but there was only like 10 cars in Street Rod.
Wow, that's a show I want to go to.
And they
One
have
of the things
basically custom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One of the things the Riff Raff guys did that I like is their members were not allowed to compete, but they had a table that just had members builds on it, and they let the participants judge on the members' cars. So they had like their own little contest amongst themselves. And I was like, man, that is the coolest thing, because I've been to some small, when I was out in California, I had been to some contest where it was like, man, this has got to be rigged, you know, same fucking guys, pardon my French, from the club that's hosting it are winning everything. In fact, that when I got there and putting stuff on the table and some of the judges were like, oh, that's so-and-so's car. I'm like, if you know who built it and you're judging, maybe you shouldn't be judging.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After last year's show, the built theme was pickup trucks, and I think there was maybe 20.
Yeah, that's not a popular category. Although I'll tell you what, I think this Mobius F250 is going to take off. That is a seriously nice kit.
Last show was a Demon, and we only had 5 cars entered in the theme category for that 71 Demon.
Why is that not picking up that reflection? Yeah. Got a nice set of eyes on this thing. I like it. I like it a lot.
And this show, you'll see the same car 3 or 4 years in a row too.
Yeah, I will only bring a car back to a contest if I didn't, if it wins, I won't bring it back to that contest again.
I'm pretty much a one and done unless it fits in like a category.
But I've had, I'm sure you have too. I've had kits that bomb at one contest take first at another.
Oh yeah. My 32 Ford took first. The 5-window took first place at one show, and it's never won anywhere else.
Wow.
Never get second, third, honorable mention, photograph, nothing. Which is okay. I mean, I don't care. But
my 41 Willys, and I think the reason that it hasn't done better is because the splash color change and paint I put on there did something funky. Left some weird lines, and I still can't figure out why it did it. But it won at Memphis last year, took a third at the NHRA Museum, which I thought was, I kind of was a dick to this one guy. He had one on the table, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, that thing is not going to do well. The paint was pretty hideous. The decal work was bad, and so I was kind of a dick, and I put mine right next to his.
Oh, hey, Chuck, I didn't even know you were in there.
The same kit. Oh, that is just a thing of beauty right there. All right, how do we want to glue this in? Oh, now you don't want to come out.
Yeah, we had storms roll through here yesterday, so you guys should be getting them up there in the Northeast. Our storm, you should be getting them, tomorrow, late tonight or early tomorrow.
Where are you at, Bob?
I'm in Missouri, St. Louis, just west of St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got hit last night, today. Yeah, anything you get, I get about 2 hours later, I think, maybe 3.
Yeah, it'd be about right because it's about 5 hour drive time from my house to Indianapolis.
Is it that far?
Yeah, it's just
Man,
done.
it's
It's
like
200,
250.
250, something like that. 250 to St. Louis, and I'm another 50 miles on the other side.
Oh, okay.
So it's about 300.
I was I haven't been to St. Louis since 2007 when I lived in Memphis. I went and saw a concert there. Went and hit the Riverboat Casino, had a good night there.
2007. I was probably working at the casino. If you went to the Ameristar in St. Charles on that
It
riverboat.
was the riverboat across the. I think it was parked across from the arch.
Okay, the Casino Queen. Or as its nickname is the African Queen. Because the St. Louis is the dark side of town.
I went in there and I like to go into casinos and act like I don't know how to play. And especially if you see someone at the table that you always get these guys that call them, they're like rules hawks about everything.
Uh-huh.
They're trying to make sure everybody on the table is playing by, doing things by the book and don't bend out of order and don't do this and don't say this. And they're always correcting everybody. And this guy's being a real dick. So I bluffed the hand. Well, I was acting like I didn't know how to bet. So I kept putting my bet out of turn, or I'd fold out of turn. He's like, you're out of turn. You're out of turn. I just
aggravate him. Yeah.
Kept acting like I didn't know what I was doing. And then I just come across, I think I had a royal flush. I mean, it's one of the best hands I've ever had. And I slow played it, and then I went, well, I guess I'm all in, and I throw my chips in, and there was like 5 other people at the table. I thought I was an idiot, and they all went all in. I was like, oh. I won enough money in that one hand to pay for our whole trip, our concert tickets, gas, everything. It was me and a couple of buddies. That guy was so pissed he just stormed out of there.
Yeah, they take themselves way too seriously, some of them.
Yeah, I never got that. I mean, it's competitive, but I've got a group I play with down in Bloomington, about an hour south of me, once a month, and there's nobody that's really that bad, but there are a couple of them that are like, they think they're card sharks and they're analyzing everybody's play and their percentages, and it's like, can't you just play the damn game? I don't need to know what my pot odds are. I'm just trying to have some fun. Alrighty. Well, we got one headlight done. Wasn't too bad. I was getting nervous. A lot of these kits they do have these really elaborately shaped headlight lenses.
Go to primer shot on that tomorrow, hopefully, and see what I got to work on it at. Finish the rest of those lights tomorrow. Uh-oh. Is Jim Cantore there, Chuck? That's when you know your ass is grass if Jim Cantore's in town.
Yeah, bud.
Hey, Mr. Bigot,
Oh, what happened?
We lost Don again. We're gonna go about 10 more minutes, and I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah, it's getting a little windy out here again too. So
Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to begin what you get. I heard up to 70-mile-an-hour winds this week.
yeah,
My son's getting pretty frustrated. He's in flight school at the airport. He started back in March, and this weather's been so crappy the last couple months. He's hardly got to do any flying. Yeah, this has gone so well. I don't know what else I want to do. I don't want to jinx it tonight. Tail lights went in beautifully. I got one blinker done nicely. I'm using Craft Bond, so that stuff takes a while to dry. I don't know if you've ever used that stuff or not.
yeah.
I really like Crystal Clear micro scale, but the Craft Bond's a little thicker and I think a little stronger. It doesn't quite glue as it doesn't dry as clear as Crystal Clear, but it's not bad.
And depending on the application, I either use Canopy glue, which is just a white PVA glue.
I haven't that's the stuff from the red bottle.
Yeah,
I haven't used that exact brand.
but it's just white PVA glue. It's just like Aleene's tacky glue or regular. It's more flexible than regular Elmer's glue, but it stays a little bit flexible. Or if it's something
Okay.
I can easily do, then sometimes I'll use the resin.
I don't know on the Microscale's Crystal Clear. There's something about that. It just seems to just dry. I mean, it really does dry super clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about like how it compares to Canopy glue, but I know like compared to Elmer's glue or this Tamiya stuff, the Crystal Clear definitely dries clear, almost invisible.
Crystal Clear is a little thicker than the Canopy glue.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
This, well, I need a new bottle because it's gotten gooey thick. It's time to hang it up. Of course, that bottle I got there is 2 years old.
Like with the Crystal Clear, if you got like a smaller lens, you can actually stretch it across.
Yep, I've used it to make small aircraft windows. I'll actually always use it on my cars to make, once I get the instrument panel either painted or the decals on it, I always coat them with Crystal Clear. Make a little bubble and let it dry.
That's where I use the UV resin a lot because you can put that on.
Yeah, I got some of that now. I haven't tried that yet. I need to try that. I've been using it to fill in stuff. I've been using it as a replacement for putty, and I'm very happy with it.
Let's see, where did I?
Yeah, I haven't tried white glue on Photo Etch yet. I don't think. I mean, I imagine it would work the same.
Well, I use the Canopy glue a lot on the Photo
Really?
Etch too. Yeah, white glue is fine, just as long as you're don't use the school glue because that one is designed to break down.
Yeah, that I probably will use white glue on these wipers.
Just regular.
I don't want to
Regular white glue is fine, but yeah, just don't use the school glue because it's designed to it never really sets up and easy to break down. Yeah, these I filled these windows and stuff in with the resin. I cut them out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got this bottle. Actually, Ride the Wind turned me onto this bottle of clear 3D resin, or not 3D. What do you call it? UV.
UV casting resin.
And I've used it to fill in a couple things on that Porsche I'm building. I was super impressed. Because not only does it not shrink, it sands like plastic instead of concrete.
Just make sure you get the stuff that says hard. If you get, there's two different types. There's a soft and a hard. The one
Yeah.
says
I never noticed that. Yeah, it says right on label, hard type.
Yep.
The one thing I do have to remember though is after curing, don't touch it because it's still cooling.
Yeah.
I have this bad habit of I'll be done with the light and I'll reach down and touch it, and then mush it or put a fingerprint in it.
Yeah, because it takes it still
Let it-
takes a little bit long, but it'll sets up like almost it. And I usually put the light on about a minute.
Yeah,
And then I'll just let it sit on my bench and it finishes curing.
I've
But
been super happy with the results of that. Actually, I'm going to try it. One of these kits, I'm going to try it on the windows. Because some kits, if the window is, if the window is seated such that you've got some distance from the edge, I'll use, Bob Smith's or something, some CA glue. But, some kits, there's like no place to put the glue that isn't going to run. So I will do is paint a bead of crystal clear around it. The only problem with crystal clear, if you get that shit on the window somehow, yeah, it cleans up with water and it makes an absolute mess.
Well, see with the resin, if you do get it on spot, you don't want it on on your glass clear parts. Just go ahead and cure it, and once it's cured, you can pop it off.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah. It will pop off if you want it to. It's got a strong enough bond to hold what you want it to hold, but if you need to get it off, you can pop it and it'll come off.
Nice.
Because it's not. There's no mechanical bond there. It's just kind of a sticky stick bond.
I'm getting down to the part that I'm hesitating on. It's these photo etch grills. I might try white glue on these. I haven't tried that before. Because I was trying to figure out this big grill here. It fits nice, but the edge is so precise that like glue is just going to squeeze out if you're not careful. Yeah, I might try some white glue on that.
Yeah, I would put it on, let it sit for maybe a minute, and kind of tack up a little bit, and then stick it in there.
That's kind of what I like about the Craft Bond. It's already like at that tacky stage almost.
It won't run and squish, and you just put just a tiniest bit on there.
The crystal clear and the crystal clear will run if you put too much of it. I think I'm gonna walk away from the table while I'm ahead here. I still got one more light assembly to do, one more blinker to do.
You can save it for Ted's tomorrow.
Yeah, this has gone well. I think I'm going to call it here. I got my wipers built without losing any photo etch.
Good night, Gary.
Look at this.
Write it down. So
I found pictures. I'm trying to figure out which one is the driver's side, but look at the difference in length of those two wipers.
Yeah.
One's double the width. So I have found a picture that has a long one on the driver's side and a long one on the passenger side. So now I got to figure that out.
And that could be both ways because of the left and right steering.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So the interesting thing is I put it on the car both ways and it fits both ways. But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure the short one has to go on the driver's side. Just looking at the throw. So anyway, once I get the windows in, the thing about this, and I think I'm going to try the white glue, is once you put that acetate window down, then the wipers have to go in, and there's no margin for error with CA glue. None at all. Alrighty, well, that was a nice productive session. I'm very happy.
I'm glad you came in tonight.
Yes, thanks for running one.
Yep, I try to do it every Tuesday unless
takes the monotony out of. I try to watch shows and stuff, but then it's like I end up not watching the show. I'm listening, and I have it rewind.
Yeah, I always say I'm listening to TV because that's basically what I do. It's usually on and just in the background.
I like what I like about doing the hangouts. Not necessarily has to be live, but this other group that I hang out with Zoom on from time to time. If I've got something that I really hate doing, like decals, I hate doing decals. I'll save that for when we're in the hangout.
Yeah.
It's kind of a distraction, you know.
Yeah, Boston. I was going to go to Spartan in Tulsa, but it didn't work out. Mainly because that was right when jobs, A&P jobs, were really hard to come by.
Yeah, not anymore.
When TWA and American were merging, and United was all in there, and they were all merging, and so everybody was losing their jobs, so nobody without any experience could get on. So I ended up not going.
Yeah, that's funny because when I worked at a little charter airline, we had a 23-year-old DC-10 FO, brand new, and it was like, man, he went to Spartan. I was like, wow. I went in the military, and I couldn't be a pilot because of my eyesight, and back then you had to have perfect vision, couldn't be correctable. Now you can get a waiver to fly heavies, but anyway, that's how I ended up going the mechanic route, and I just got lucky that really my whole career was made by getting put on KC-10s in the Air Force because the civilian DC-10s like 90% the same airplane, so always had a job when I got out. Boston, my son is flying Diamond DA-40 single engine, and then when he goes to do his multi-engine, they have DA-42s there. He's at a school called Lift Academy in Indianapolis. They are pipeline for Republic Airways. In fact, when he graduates, once he gets all his ratings next year, the school will take him on as a CFI while he has to build his 1,500 hours for his restricted ATP, and then Republic Airways is going to pay part of his tuition. Then he owes them 5 years when he gets his ATP, which will probably be about the right time because he turns 19 in a couple weeks, and you got to be 21 to have an ATP. So he'll probably hit his 1,500 hours about the time he turns 21. That'll be good timing. And then he'll start as an FO. And got my fingers crossed. Republic has a domicile in Indy, which means what we're hoping to do is he'll get the job as an FO at Republic, have the Indy domicile, and then he can live with us while we pay off his student loans. Because flight school is expensive as hell. Very expensive. Yeah, their planes got Garmin 1000s in them. He had been flying in planes that had G500s. He was flying in some old Pipers, and he was blown away by how much more complex the G1000 was. In fact, before they even get him flying, he has to take a 1-month school to learn how to use all the instrumentation on the plane. But he's doing well. He, like I said, he turns 19 in a couple of weeks. He got his private pilot's license last year when he was 18. He would have had it when he was 17, but weather out in California didn't cooperate. But he got to do his first 80 hours of flying out of Van Nuys, California. And Southern California is some of the busiest, craziest airspace in the country. So coming here was like a step down. In fact, his instructor was like, yeah, if you want to see what busy airspace is, he showed him a chart of Southern LA area or Southern California. And my son's like, yeah, that's where I've been flying. But yeah, I'm happy for him that he's going to be able to do that. And he'll have a job and he don't have to live with me forever.
That's a bonus point. All right, everybody, I'm going to shut this
That's
down. I
what
want
they
to thank
do.
everybody for being here. And we'll see. We might be around on Friday. We'll see how things go. I'm going to try and be in Ted's tomorrow night. And
Yeah, I'm going to try to get on Ted's tomorrow too.
AMC on Thursday, and then Saturday we'll be on Brian's for the 37 Ford build. So till then, I want to thank everybody again for coming in, and we'll see you next time.
See you, Bob.
Bye,
See you, everybody.